Motorola's next big mid-range phone has just leaked, and here's the twist. On paper, it looks like an absolute monster. Huge battery, fast-charging, bright AMOLED display, but when you look at it, you might struggle to tell it apart from last year's phones. This is the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion, and it's a perfect example of how specs can excite you while design quietly puts you to sleep. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. Why does this matter? Because the Edge Fusion series is where Motorola usually gets things very right. These phones are meant for people who don't want to spend flagship money but still care about battery life, durability, and a premium feel. And with the Edge 70 Fusion, Motorola seems to be doubling down on that formula, just without taking any visual risks. The leaked renders show a phone that's nice, clean, familiar, almost too familiar. The camera island clearly borrows its look from the regular Edge 70, while the quad-curved display feels straight out of last year's Edge 60 Fusion. If you were hoping Motorola would shake things up in 2026, this isn't that moment. That said, it's hard to call the Edge 70 Fusion ugly. The Pantone Country Air color actually looks great, and the silhouette option feels like a classy upgrade over basic black or gray. Motorola is also moving away from its usual vegan leather finish and going with a nylon and linen-inspired texture on the back. It's subtle, but it does give the phone a slightly fresher feel, even if it's not exactly a wow moment. There are also some practical design decisions here. The side-mounted AI key found on the regular Edge 70 appears to be missing, which keeps things simple. And while the frame is likely plastic instead of aluminum, that's pretty normal for this price category. The important thing is that despite packing a massive battery, the phone doesn't look chunky. From the leaked profile shots, it seems comfortably slim, probably under 8.5 millimeters. But here's where the Edge 70 Fusion really starts to justify its existence: the specs. You're getting a 6.78-inch AMOLED display with a 1.5K resolution, a 144 Hz refresh rate, and up to 5,200 nits of peak brightness. That's flagship-level brightness on a mid-range phone. Powering it all is the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3, paired with either 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, more than enough for everyday users and even light gaming. Camera-wise, Motorola is keeping things sensible rather than flashy. A 50-megapixel Lydia primary sensor on the back and a 32-megapixel front camera should deliver solid, reliable results, especially compared to other phones in this price range. No gimmicks, just decent hardware. And then there's the battery, the real headline feature. A 7,000 milliamp-hour battery in a phone that doesn't look like a brick is wild. That's about 1,800 milliamp hours more than the Edge 60 Fusion, which already had good endurance. Add 68-watt fast charging, and this becomes the kind of phone you charge once and forget about for a full day, maybe even two. On top of that, Motorola is stacking the durability cards: Gorilla Glass 7i, MIL STD 810H certification, and both IP68 and IP69 water and dust resistance. That's not just splash resistant, that's don't worry about it territory. And with 3 guaranteed OS upgrades, it's clear Motorola wants this phone to last. So, yes, the design is repetitive. Yes, it's a little forgettable at first glance, but the Edge 70 Fusion feels like one of those phones you appreciate more the longer you use it. And ultimately, everything comes down to price. The Edge 60 Fusion launched in Europe around €330, and if Motorola keeps the Edge 70 Fusion under €400, or even closer to €350, this suddenly becomes a very compelling deal. Sadly, if you're in North America, history suggests you probably won't get it at all. The Edge 70 Fusion may not turn heads in a store, but if Motorola nails the pricing, it could quietly become one of the smartest mid-range buys of 2026. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.